You can see sun over downtown Indianapolis right now, right through the clouds there, but we're tracking some pop-up storms around the area right now.
And we're also tracking the impact of storms expected to move into central Indiana tomorrow, which is why our meteorologists are staying on top of these systems so you know the impact that they're going to have on you and your family's plans.
So let's get over to Angela Buckman, who joins us in the Weather Impact Center. What are you seeing right now, Angela?
Well, Ann and Felicia, as you pointed out, just a couple of stray storms out there this afternoon and this evening, but the big impact coming the next couple of days with the threat of severe weather. We do have a few spotty showers and storms on radar this evening that will briefly interrupt your outdoor plans. We've got a little cell coming out of Whitestown and Zionsville, working its way across the eastern sections of Boone County, and some steadier rain coming out of Noblesville, impacting Cicero and LaPel right now. We go north. This cell has weakened as it's approaching Colfax. Did have a little bit of lightning with it, and that's a threat along with downpours. And we know downpours can mean trouble. It was a lot of trouble this morning. We are under a low-end threat of severe weather over the next several hours, and we will look for perhaps some additional storms developing after midnight. Those will weaken, and then we turn our attention to some higher threats the next couple of days, including a level 2 threat tomorrow and a level 3 threat on Friday. Tomorrow we'll be dealing with high heat, high humidity, and a couple of pop-up storms, especially late in the day. That's the when. The heat all day, that storm chance tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and we get into Friday, an even greater threat of severe weather. We've got lots to cover in the full forecast.
Angela, thanks. We'll check back. In the meantime, we're following some breaking news tonight. Indiana Governor Mike Braun is now allowing the execution of an Indianapolis man who killed a Beech Grove police officer.
Earlier today, the Indiana Parole Board sent the governor a letter recommending he deny clemency for Benjamin Richie.
And now the governor's responded to that recommendation. Rich Nye has been following this case for years and joins us now live in studio with not only the governor's response, but also the parole board letter, their reasoning, and also reaction to that. Rich?
So the governor says that he has carefully reviewed that recommendation from the parole board and he will not grant clemency to Benjamin Richie. So 25 years after killing Officer Bill Toney, Richie is now less than 6 days away from the state killing him. Benjamin Richie shot and killed Officer Bill Toney during a foot chase running from a stolen van in a Beech Grove neighborhood in September 2000. The parole board interviewed Richie for an hour at the Michigan City prison May 5th.
There's not a night that doesn't go by. That night doesn't haunt me, I think about it all the time. It doesn't go away. When you take someone's life, it don't go away. It's always there.
On Monday, the 5-member board heard 4 hours of testimony for and against clemency, including an expert on fetal alcohol syndrome disorder. In its letter to the governor recommending against clemency, the board wrote, "We find that a vast majority of the information related to Benjamin Richie's history of abuse and neglect, including but not limited to prenatal alcohol exposure, has been appropriately considered by the fact finders and judicial officers tasked with considering the evidence." The state deputy public defender representing Richie responded to the recommendation. Before learning the governor would not stop the execution, Mark Koselke said, "We are extremely disappointed that the parole board concluded that Mr. Richie's death sentence is based on accurate information." The parole board recommendation also notes the long wait for justice for the victim's family. The outcome that those individuals were promised by a jury of Mr. Richie's peers was that Mr. Richie would ultimately be put to death for his egregious actions. The family and friends of Bill Toney have patiently waited for the day when that sentence would be fulfilled.
It's time for this chapter of my story, our story, to be closed. Time for us to remember Bill's life and not his death. It's time.
And I asked Dee Dee Horn, Officer Toney's widow, for her reaction today to the parole board recommendation against clemency. She replied by text message, a message you just heard: "It is time." And time appears to be running out for Benjamin Richie. His lawyers have asked the U.S. Supreme Court for a stay of execution. That may be the only last-ditch effort.
Right. Okay. Keep us updated, Rich. Thank you.
And Rich has covered this case for years, and so we're making it easy for you to find all his past stories. They are part of a special that's streaming on WTHR Plus right now.
If you'd like to watch it, just download the app on your TV. It is free. Tonight, a 22-year-old man is under arrest. He's accused in a hit-and-run crash that killed a little 4-year-old boy, Alan Garcia. And tonight, nearly a week after the accident, his father is still hospitalized, and another driver is also recovering from critical injuries.
So tonight, Alan's mom wants the suspect to know the pain her family is feeling. She talked with our Marina Silva today.
1 week since that crash, and still Cristobal Garcia is here at Eskenazi Hospital. His wife Marcela tells me between the grief of losing her 4-year-old son and her husband still in the hospital, this grief is unimaginable.
This week, IMPD arrested a 22-year-old man in connection to the hit and run. Court documents say just before the crash, the man was allegedly driving 80 miles per hour in a 40 miles per hour zone. Then he took off running. That crash took the life of 4-year-old Alan Salas Garcia. He was riding in a bike trailer with his father when they were hit. Alan died at Riley Hospital. Now his mom, Marcela Garcia, wants justice for her family.
He has to pay for what he did. I'm not recovering my baby, but I want to think about it, how I feel that he took me away from my baby.
Garcia tells me what gets her through this is knowing one day she'll see her son again. Reporting in Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
And that suspect faces several preliminary charges, including reckless homicide and leaving the scene of an accident.
Tonight, a Johnson County doctor is facing charges. He's accused of buying oxycodone from patients after prescribing them the pills. His name is Dr. Derek Heisenhower, and he happens to be the chief medical officer at Windrose Health Network. That company has an office in Franklin, Indiana. He is now facing various charges of dealing a controlled substance and obtaining a controlled substance by fraud or deceit. The court documents state that Dr. Heisenhower prescribed Oxy to an informant and then asked if he could buy 30 of the pills for $150. The detectives also revealed in those documents the doctor was prescribing and buying back meds from other patients as well. Now, the doctor told detectives that he has an opioid addiction following a herniated disc in his neck, and he says he's been taking 10 to 15 oxycodone a day.